Begin this morning with today's big story. Over 100 schools and businesses are closed, and multiple counties and cities have issued evacuation orders as the East prepares to see historic flooding. This is all a lingering effect from Matthew. The storm dumped over a foot of rain in some spots over the weekend, creating hazardous conditions and claiming the lives of 8 people statewide. We're tracking the latest conditions as far west as Nash and Wayne counties, to Edgecombe County, Lenoir County, Craven County, and Pitt County, where the Tar River is expected to reach major flood stage today. Our Jessica Jewell is tracking the latest conditions there. Jessica.
I've been out here monitoring conditions at the boat access at Town Common, right south of the Tar River, all morning long, but you can't even really tell that it's a boat access right now. There's usually a dock back here. There is a dock back here, but it's completely underwater. You can't see it right now, and this river continues taking over the parking lot here. Waters continue rising. I'm going to zoom in to give you some perspective here on just how deep these waters are. Take a look. You see this no parking sign here. The water is all the way up to the bottom of that sign, and it's only expected to get worse. County emergency management officials warn you this is a 2-part storm. Take a look at the first part, flash flooding that we saw over the weekend. We saw washed out roads throughout the county, some even collapsing, stranded cars, and widespread damage. First responders are warning you to prepare for the second part of the storm now. Long-term flooding we're expecting this week. Sheriff Neil Elks is urging people in low-lying areas to evacuate now, not just for your safety, but also for the safety of first responders.
We are there to assist you. Our first priority is public safety, and we want to make sure we follow through with that. Let my deputies spend time keeping you safe and figuring out how we're going to keep the roads open to the fastest route to the hospital from your location, and the fastest route for us to be able to respond.
The Tar River is expected to surpass 20 feet today and reach 26 feet later this week. That's only a few feet below where we were after Hurricane Floyd. Now, earlier this morning, at the beginning of our show at 4:30, we showed you we were out in one of those neighborhoods with a mandatory evacuation. Didn't see any water in the roads at that point, but I have talked to some Greenville police officers this morning, and they say on the other side of this river, on the north side, it's starting to get bad in some of those areas. Remember, there are 3 shelters open in Pitt County. If you're in one of those mandatory evacuation areas or just in a low-lying area that you know is flood prone, for more information, head to our website at WNCT.com. Live in Greenville, Jessica Jewell, 9 on your side.
Thank you, Jessica. That sign she showed you, by the way, just in the past hour, the water has increased around it. Unbelievable to see that. Well, the threat of flooding from the Tar River reaches beyond Greenville as well, forcing one Edgecombe County community to evacuate. 17 years ago, Hurricane Floyd nearly wiped out the town of Princeville. And now people there are worried for the safety of their homes, and they don't want to repeat what happened nearly 2 decades ago. 2 shelters are set up for folks in nearby Tarboro as the Princeville mandatory evacuation continues. The Neuse River continues to rise, threatening multiple communities in our area. Already in Vansboro, parts of Streets Ferry Road are blocked off. The road is full of water and it continues to rise. Craven County Fire and Rescue says people in the area have evacuated. One Vansboro resident came back to see how high the water was, and she says this is only the beginning.
This is underwater in front of us. We're dry right here, but in 15 to 30 minutes, depending on how fast the water's coming, this could be underwater. So while you think you can get out and go check on people, you might not be able to get back home. The water will come up that fast.
Emergency management crews are on standby in Vansboro and New Bern. They have swift water crews ready to go should it become necessary. Kinston and Lenoir County leaders are also assessing the threat of a rising Neuse River. Emergency Management Director Roger Dale says by the end of this week, flood levels could surpass those set by Floyd. Officials have compiled a map of areas most likely to be affected and structures which could receive flooding. Chairman of Commissioners Craig Hill says they are taking it day by day.
Every storm is different. Every event is different. And so you can't look at this and say this is going to be just like Floyd. This is Matthew, and it stands on its own. And we're just going to have to be prepared to make those adjustments as we go.
Area officials are projecting around $17 million in damages. The threat of flooding from the Neuse River has forced a voluntary evacuation order over in Goldsboro. A curfew went into effect overnight, though no word yet if it will remain in effect today or later tonight. Homes and businesses along the northeast Cape Fear rivers and the Contentnia Creek could soon start to flood as soon as today. Those waterways, along with the Tar and the Neuse, are expected to crest at historic levels later this week. Sarah Jamieson's with the National Weather Service, and she expects thousands will have to be evacuated and says many more will be in danger.
If people can keep that message, do not enter flooded roadways, turn around, do not drown. I think we could probably get away from this event with as limited impact and injury as we can.
This round of flooding could last up to a week or 2 weeks in some places. Jamieson says the flooding could rival that which followed Floyd back in 1999. In Rocky Mount now, city leaders are still urging people to stay inside their homes and only get out on the roads if absolutely necessary. Take a look at this. This is Stony Creek, overflowing from the 10+ inches of rain it received this weekend. The area also received floodwaters from the Tar River, though that's expected to begin receding this morning. 4 people in Cumberland County are still missing this morning after a round of severe flooding from Matthew hit the area there. This video from Fayetteville shows the extent of floodwaters. You can see a kayaker paddling around submerged vehicles lost in more than 14 inches of rain. Governor Pat McCrory is expected to tour the flood zone there today. We will continue to cover flooding across the area throughout the week. Be sure to stay with us up to date by downloading our WNCT News app. It is free in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store.